Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lawn Theory. I'm your host, Stephen Werner, and today one of my great friends, Chad from Evo, joins us. I'm not going to steal your thunder, Chad, to say exactly what you do, but he's one of my closest friends in Atlanta and the most foremost expert in payments that I've ever met. And so, with no further ado, Chad Lane from Evo Payments. How you doing?
Good. I'm doing good. Good to have you be on here, Stephen. And I'll say you're one of my closest friends in the U.S. So I'm expanding it beyond just Atlanta.
Hey, that's true. You are the same for me, my friend. I don't know why I pigeonholed you to Atlanta, but you can. I'll owe you a beer or two when I see you in Louisville here in a few weeks.
Looking forward to it. But thanks for having me.
Yeah. So could you tell everyone kind of what you do, a little bit about yourself, and what Evo Payments do for users?
Yes, of course. So Chad Lane, as Stephen had mentioned, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. This is where Evo Payments global headquarters are located. And we are at the core a payment processor. So we're the ones that are actually processing credit, debit, Apple Pay, Google Pay, ACH payments, any type of payments that you can think of, so that the great folks in the field service space can get paid for the jobs and the service that they're doing. I'm Senior Director of Integrated Partners over here. So I focus solely on how do we help support partners like Lawn Buddy and their clients, the actual contractors out there doing the work, making money and getting paid. And we love working with Lawn Buddy, and we love working with the actual field service industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that has always blown me away about yourself and Evo Payments is just how committed you are to serving not only us as a company, but the actual processors of the payments. I know that your favorite industry to serve is the lawn and landscape industry. And I already know that your favorite clients to work with are Lawn Buddy and our customers. But what are some things that get you excited when you look at new changes coming to not only the lawn and landscape industry, but the trades industries as a whole?
Yeah, so payments can sound complicated, where it's kind of a black hole. All right, I don't know what happens behind the scenes. So we like to shine light on the darkness after a credit card is swiped or a payment is taken. And so we love communicating with our partners, with their clients, so Lawn Buddy clients, Evo payment clients, and so we're real people here, ready to help, ready to shine some light onto the crazy world of payments and really help make sure that it's a smooth process as possible. We love when it runs in the background and everything runs smoothly as possible. But we all know with technology, that doesn't always happen. Things pop up, things change. And so Evo is here to really help that and smooth that out and just help small businesses grow and continue to succeed. So one of the things we like to do is look at trends of where payments are going and how consumers are looking to pay. So consumers are really trained from an e-commerce perspective to be able to pay with the click of a button on their phone without pulling out a credit card. So that's one of the things that we continue to push in really service-oriented industries of, hey, how can you help that consumer pay as soon as they want to pay? Don't make it hard for them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so for those listeners who are tuning in and you're thinking, well, how does Evo fit in with Lawn Buddy? One thing I want to go over with you is when you're going through and you're sending an invoice or an estimate to a client and they go in there actually able to either prepay for partial or full, the full amount of that estimate or their invoice, Evo is the one who is actually processing that payment so that you get the money directly in your account, and both systems communicate. So that way, we're still pushing that same data to your QuickBooks account. You're still being able to see it in your Lawn Buddy dashboard, but Evo is one of the payment partners that is helping to make sure that the money gets in your account. And we know from firsthand experience that when issues do arise, right, when a customer either is confused about a payment, when a payment doesn't go through, or if there's an issue at all with the technology, just like Chad said, they are there 100%. We've worked with a lot of different payment partners over the years. And like Chad said, they are real people and they really do care about you, your business, and your payments. So such a huge pleasure to have you on, Chad. One thing I wanted to dive into just a little bit more is I know you were talking about trends. Where do you see the industry going in terms of payments in the next 5 to 10 years? we're seeing a huge amount of adoption from baby boomers and older clientele using payments, electronic payments specifically. But where do you guys kind of see the industry moving to in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest, and we're already seeing the trend is kind of the set it and forget it. And we're seeing that across a lot of different industries where it's turning more into a subscription based trend of, all right, I'm just going to put in my card data one time and I'm going to just get charged on an ongoing basis, whether it's monthly, quarterly, or per job. And one of the major challenges there is, all right, what happens when a card expires, somebody gets a new card or something along those lines? So one tool that Evo has that is getting leveraged more and more is called Account Updater. And that's where we can automatically update card data from behind the scenes. So if you have a card on file, that card just gets updated automatically and you never see a disruption in either your service or the payment for that service.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. For listeners, if you're in your Lawn Buddy tool and you go to the subscription setting, Evo is the one that's allowing you to have that card on file. So you have that reoccurring payments coming through automatically. But what he's talking about is you never have to go and track down from Susie Q or John Doe, their card was expired and you have to spend a week trying to get it. So that's fantastic. With the trend in payments and other ways to pay, a lot of our users continuously talk about cryptocurrencies. I know it's a hot topic. You're either in that boat or you're out of that boat. Where does Evo sit with the future of payments? What do you guys think? Is it going to continue to stay the way it is and technology kind of advance around your traditional Visa, MasterCard, Amex? Or do you think you're going to start seeing more trends in the trades and payments for more cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, so I never see Visa, MasterCard, Amex going away and totally taken over by crypto. But as we all know, crypto has been getting talked about more and more. There's more industries that are adopting it. But however, those are typically more e-commerce, gaming, things of that matter. So we don't see it as much in the service industry. So what Evo really does is we look at, all right, what's the trend, what's the demand, and what's the percentage of people that are looking to pay? And we kind of follow those in the different verticals, industries that we participate in and target. So do I have a crystal ball and I see if it's going to be in more service-oriented industries such as lawn and landscaping? Not in the near future. Could it be down the road? Of course, it can definitely be down the road. But it's definitely something that we're watching over here.
Yeah, I tend to be in the same boat as you. What we've noticed is that there's more of a demand from the business owners wanting to be paid in some sort of cryptocurrencies, but the end user, the homeowners, the clients, they don't want to touch it. So we don't think that it's going to be something that happens in 5 to 10 years, but maybe down the line, you start to see a little bit more of that. I mean, you see some adoption. Visa's invested pretty heavily into cryptocurrencies, so on and so forth, but it's such an early market and too many question marks for the average homeowner to say, okay, this is what I want to do. Now there's arguments to be made across both aisles for the benefits of it. But one thing that I want to reiterate to everyone listening is that the reason why Lombardy has chosen Evo is that they are entertaining the conversation. So, and they're always updating their technology to make sure that product available in our tool at your disposal. And so that's one thing I really wanted to drive home on this conversation is just how forward thinking Evo is. And so when you think of emerging technologies, Chad, whether that's in the payment space or outside of it, what are some things that get you excited in the lawn and landscape industry or the trades industries?
Yeah, I would say that the number one thing in the lawn and landscape and the trade industries is data. So tracking data, I think, is going to be key in this industry. And so that's not just data from payments, but that's data from homeowners, that's data from supplies, from equipment, and taking all of that data and really making a wholesome look at that across the board of what is our business tracking, where are we losing customers, why are we losing customers, was there a different, employee that went out to that customer and then we lost them 2 weeks later. So really tracking all of that information, and it all goes back to, customer retention and customer growth and looking at every angle across the customer and how can you grow and how can you retain them. I think data is key across all of that and connecting a lot of those dots. We've connected a lot of them, but I think there's a lot more data points that can be leveraged to really put that wholesome picture together.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's all about how you put that wholesome picture together because it's easy to get lost in a sea of data, especially when you have vast amounts of it like we're getting today. And for users looking at that and growing their business, it's key. If you don't know what your gross profit is versus your net profit and your customer acquisition costs and those channels, all those data points to help you build a healthy business, and you really need to be paying attention to those now and aggregating that in a way that's easy to consume by using tools such as LawnBuddy, Evo, QuickBooks, products of those caliber that help you visualize a lot of that data.
That's a great point, Steven. And just to jump back in there quickly, if you get too much data and it's not organized or easy to read and decipher, then you can go in the opposite direction of, you're hurting your business because you're spending too much time diving into it, which that's something that I've always been impressed with LawnBuddy, how you take in quite a bit of the data and help simplify it. So somebody that's out there in the field can quickly digest that and quickly make decisions based off of it. And that's where technology is crucial for these businesses.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, realistically, we're doing the same thing. So, what we're doing is we're taking data from end users, i.e., you listening, people who are actually in the field using the technology, and you're trying to figure out, okay, how can we make your life a little bit easier? How can we make you a little bit more efficient, and consistently and constantly analyzing that data to make sure we're putting the best product in front of you that's easy to use, easy to understand, and easy to execute. And I think with anything in life, if you can chop that down into those three categories and just get 1% better every day. You don't want to just, it's almost impossible to wake up and 100% of your life or your business is better. It's just not realistic, doesn't happen. But if you do those small, consistent, small victories, those add up over time. And that's where you can take analyzing data from your business and how you can continue to grow your company and impact customers' lives. One other thing that I wanted to hit on is that you have not just been in payments your entire life. You've actually been in the trenches. We talk about it a lot. You've been in startups, you've been in fast growing companies. What are some tips that you could give business owners who are just starting to see that growth? They're starting to see that, okay, maybe I have 3 to 10 to 20 employees. What can they do to really stay focused and continue to grow their business in today's climate?
Yeah. So as you mentioned, Stephen, I've worked and helped launch a couple other startups, technology companies prior to my payments career and working with some larger companies in the payment space. And there's a couple of things, hard lessons and I guess easy lessons that I've learned from my career and from a couple of these other startups prior to where I am now. One is listen to your customers. So don't go out and, roll out new product, roll out, new services that you think are going to be something that your customers want to buy and invest quite a bit into them and then hope they buy them. Talk to them. Your customers, they like to hear and provide their opinion. And so they want to tell you what they're looking for. They want to tell you what is missing out there. So just ask and talk to them, stay in communication with them. We still do that here at Evo, even though we're a much larger company than a startup. And that's the only way that we build new product is, all right, what's the demand? What are our merchants saying? What are our partners saying? And so that's the number one piece of advice I always give is constantly be in communication with your customers, listen to them, and then either pivot or build or grow from that information and advice that you're getting from your customers. So I'll say that's number one. Number two is what I call whale hunting. So whale hunting can be good. So that's when you're going after a very large client. So maybe that's in the lawn and landscaping space, a large commercial client, and they're asking you to either get lower on margin or do some services that are really outside of your core. It can be exciting and it can look like a very large account, but it can also take your eye off the ball and you're missing the ball on these businesses or these customers that might be smaller, but are really the growth factor of your company. So I would say whale hunting's good if you're not taking your eye off the ball of your bread and butter that's helping your company grow on a day-to-day basis.
That's fantastic advice. One of the things that I've noticed from Evo is your guys' commitment to doing everything that you've just said. And that is attributed a lot to you. I attribute a lot of that to you. One of the things that I think is fantastic is from that same perspective of how do you get to know your prospective clients or your existing clients of what they want, what their needs are, is exactly what you did to us. You reached out to me 3 years ago before a product was even ready or that we were even ready for an integration. And you asked me that, what do you need from a processor standpoint that would get you to the next point? And then we built a relationship from there and eventually launched this year. And to take it a step further, you guys took the time to sit down with us to find out, okay, we know what Lawn Buddy needs, but what do our clients need? And what we found is, hey, once we go into the off season, once we're looking at integrating with a new product, sometimes there's hesitancy because change is hard, right? Integrating new systems is hard. And how can we de-risk that and really partner with business owners who are in the lawn and landscaping industry? And one of the things that we ended up coming up with was our 12-month free exclusive deal if they met certain criteria. Can you kind of walk through not only what that is, but why it's important to Evo to continue to serve clients like that?
Yeah, of course. So the 12-month free exclusive is for Lawn Buddy clients that are processing a certain amount of volume over an annual basis. So we know that there's some seasonality to this industry. So we look at the annualized amount of volume that a business is processing. And we have some certain thresholds in there, but Evo will actually pay for the first year of Lawn Buddy. We pay Lawn Buddy on a month-to-month basis, as long as you're still processing with Evo. And so we do that for a couple reasons. One is we do that to help your customers, Lawn Buddy customers, grow with some of the best technology out there. So we want them to get it in their hands, use it, leverage it, but then continue to use it on an ongoing basis because it's easy to launch new technology and use it, get excited about it, but then kind of go back to your normal ways and forget about it. So Evo is committed to paying for that and paying for it on an ongoing basis, as long as it's continued to be leveraged. And that's to help grow your customers, the Lawn Buddy customers out there. And then obviously it helps from an Evo perspective where we can help on the payment side.
That's right. So we're super excited about that. I know we're changing a lot of, we've launched 2 or 3 months now, and we already have a lot of business owners who are leveraging this, taking advantage of the solutions. It's just one of the things that we're so happy and honored to partner with you and with Evo and the entire team over there.
Of course. And Evo, I mean, we're committed to SMB up to enterprise clients, but we know SMB customers, they sometimes don't get as much love. So we're committed to helping the growth of anything from a new up and coming lawn and landscaping business to a one that's been being run for many, many years. So we enjoy seeing the growth on both sides of the spectrum there.
Absolutely. One of the things I wanted to talk about is a realization that I had today when I was driving. We were getting some material for Equip in Louisville, Kentucky, right? So today's date is October 10th, is that the year is almost over. Like Halloween is in a few weeks. Then turn around and you have Thanksgiving and Christmas. And it's blown my mind at how fast this year has gone by. Maybe it's because I'm getting old, or maybe it's because the world is a completely different place than what we used to know just 4 or 5 years ago. But one thing that I always like to do is forward looking and things that excite me, not only about the industry, the company, our partners, what have you, is just what are some things that you're looking forward to next year in 2023? I'm personally, I'm looking forward to continue to evolve the technology to fit our users' needs, our partnership with Evo, but ultimately just serving people well and doing it in a way that doesn't restrict their cash flow and that they can build their business and simultaneously we rise, all ships rise then. So I'm super excited to continue to look forward to that, as well as just the opportunity that next year holds. What are you and kind of Evo? What are you personally, and what about you and Evo? I'm looking forward to seeing my son turn 5 next year, which still blows my mind. But what are some of those things that you're looking forward to next year?
Yeah. Well, I'm similar to you on the personal side. So my son just turned 5, and then my daughter will be turning 7 very, very soon. So every year brings more and more excitement and new adventures with the two of them. So my wife and I always enjoy seeing them grow. From an Evo in professional side of the house, we really concentrate on two things, and we're going to be diving even further into them next year. One is automation. So we want to make it easy for our partners, so Lawn Buddy's clients, to sign up for Evo, get a payment processing account with us, and Evo be out of the way. Make it smooth, easy process, and Evo's running behind the scenes. And so we're always looking at more ways to automate that process, automate the payment between your clients and their end users, and just have that a seamless process where nobody's thinking about it and money is just exchanging hands. Payments are getting processed back and forth. So we're always looking at improving that, where it's what we call automated self-service, and where are areas that are a bit stickier and where we can continue to improve that, whether it's new payment methods or new ways to, new channels to pay. So mobile, text to pay, automatic payment, things of that matter. But then something that we continue to invest in and continue to improve is our service. So nothing is ever going to be 100% automated, especially think about in the service industry where it's, lawn and landscapers going out to homeowners and commercial sites to provide a service. So Evo is committed to just continuing to be a service-oriented organization over here. And so when somebody does need to make a call, talk to somebody, we're here, and we're here to help. And as I mentioned before, we're real people that want to help other real people.
Absolutely. With that, as we get ready to kind of close out on our discussion, I wanted to remind everyone that if you want more information on Evo, we'll link their website below, as well as the landing page for the promotion that we talked about. If people have questions specifically for you, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, of course. So there's a couple different ways to get a hold of us over here at Evo. We'll include a link below as well that will lead over to our landing page where anybody can type in information. And then it's Chad Lane. I invite anybody out there to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I do a lot on LinkedIn, and shoot me a message or shoot me a contact to connect on LinkedIn. And I would love to be in touch. Also, my email address is chad.lane@evopayments.com. So happy to chat with anybody. So don't hesitate to shoot me a note.
Awesome. And then one of the things that we do, or that I do for every single guest that's on, is I like to end with a little would you rather. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So
Hopefully I'm ready.
So this one is a tricky one.